African good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of Follow Me to Africa Conversations brought to you by ClipNot TV in the diaspora. My name is Ankrita Beatrice Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series, publisher of Ubuntu Books, and founder of Follow Me to Africa. As always, I am delighted to be your host. ClipNot TV in the diaspora is an online internet service created to bring together Africans in the diaspora and at home to celebrate and appreciate their achievement. If you do not yet have an account, I invite you to sign up on clipnot.com right now so that you don't miss another edition of ClipNot TV Live. Follow Me to Africa Conversation series is an in-depth conversation series designed to spotlight Africa, provide insight, solutions, business opportunities, and much more. We air weekly, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we bring you high-profile Africans who are experts in their industry to share their life transformational journeys, lessons learned, and we take you to places, we take you to people, culture, and show you lifestyle, businesses, give you insight, tips, and new perspectives, possibilities, and opportunities, and above all, we show you our love for Africa, the continent we call home. So as you see, Follow Me to Africa Conversations is not another show, it is an experience. We air again twice every week, Tuesdays and Fridays, 9 a.m. South Tome time, 10 a.m. In Nigeria, Central Africa, and the UK, and 11 a.m. in South Africa. That said, it's really hot here in Sao Tome. You see me, I'm sweating. so bear with me. Today we are going to South Africa. Last week we were in Nigeria. Today we're going to South Africa to meet my guest, and his name is Jubilation Magagule. He's an incredible young entrepreneur, and I am so delighted to introduce him to you. But before we do that, I will suggest that we take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com.
Welcome back to Follow Me to Africa Conversations brought to you by ClipNot TV in the diaspora. You are tuned into our conversation today with my guest from South Africa. And I will, before we went on break, I quickly introduced to you what this program is all about. And right now it's time to introduce my guest, Mr. Jubilation Magagule, a young entrepreneur from South Africa who is quite fascinating. And I will invite him to introduce himself right now. Jubilation, can you introduce yourself, sir, to our audience? Who are you?
Thank you very much, Ma'am Achaleke, for this wonderful opportunity. My name is Jubilation Magagule, all the way from Bushbuck region, South Africa. I'm a self-taught entrepreneur. I don't know where to start basically. So all I can say is that I'm an entrepreneur, running two businesses, got a water business, and also I'm also into digital marketing.
That's incredible. So, you are a young South African born during the time of, after the time of apartheid. So they call you the born freeze. What is your African story?
Okay, yes, I'm born free. I would say my African story. I remember back in 2016, after I lost my job. Actually, I think that's where everything started to happen. So I lost my job, and there was this other spark that came into me, like, Jubilation, you need to start something. I opened a car wash while I was busy with running my car wash in Vermeulen. I would wash one car per day where I would make about 30 rand. That's about $1.5. And by then, I started to learn how to be independent. Later on, I met this other woman. I was a stranger to her. And then, unfortunately, this woman, she's always interviewing me. So I met her at an event that I organized for the youth in Chapel. Then later on, she gave me a business card. I kept on calling her, and then until she invited me to her place. In the first day, she gave me a computer to start working, and that's why I started to learn how to develop websites. Actually, I'm a self-taught. So from there, I can say the reason I'm saying this is my African story is that we Africans, we love each other and we trust each other. It doesn't matter where you're coming from, who you are. We just connect, just like that. As long as you are good to them, they will be good to you.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And I remember those days. I remember when I see you today, I just have to say that when I see you today, how far you've come from that moment where you sat on that computer that night and spent the whole night learning how to, learning graphic design. I admire you for your tenacity, for your courage. And that's why we have you on this conversation, because your story is one that can inspire a whole lot of young people, not just in South Africa, but across the continent who may be coming out of the pandemic, having been retrenched, or who have just finished school and do not know what to do. So, what will you typically advise someone who comes out of college, a young person, a young African who doesn't know what to do, who is waiting to be employed? What would be your advice to that person?
I would say, before anything else, they have to find themselves. Who are they really are? What are they capable of doing? What is it that what is it that they have in them? Because it might happen that you have something, you can be an entrepreneur, but you haven't seen that in you, and other people can see that too. Let me just say, let me just say this. Let me just take this as an idea. Now I'm giving every consultation to them. So I will say, if Jubilation, I want to start something, but I don't have money. There's this principle that I use to say, use what you have to get what you don't have. So basically, I will check, oh, okay, cool. Mom Beatrice has got a garden and the garden looks dirty. I'll simply go there and be like, no, Mama, can I do your garden? So you can give me that little amount that you can give me. And with that amount, I'll go and buy the first store. I can say, I can just relate it to how I started my water business. I had 500 Rand in my account. That's about 27 US dollars. So that's how I started it. But by now, as we're speaking, tomorrow we are celebrating 3 years of its existence. And we've got about 3 employees who are working there every day full time. So it shows that if you can apply the principle of using what you have to get what you don't have, you can get to somewhere else.
That's incredible. So, people out there, if you're young people listening to this conversation, this young man started his water business with $27. So if you have $27 in your pocket, that's your startup capital. It can take you to somewhere. The business is now into 3 years, and that's incredible. So, Jubilation, we are coming out of an unprecedented pandemic. where we have learned a whole lot about ourselves, about the world, and we've learned about businesses. So much has changed. So, what is it that you will say has been the biggest lesson that you took out of the pandemic that is helping you grow your business?
Um, I've learned quite a few things. I've learned that you need to be always be prepared for the next move. So there's this book that I've read. It's called "Who Moved My Cheese." So basically, before your cheese station becomes dry, you need to start looking where you can able to get another cheese. While I was moving with my water business, um, I started to go back on building the website business, and that's why I started to build relationships with businesses. So I was able to survive that process because people they saw that everything moved from we're moving to the fourth industrial revolution, and by that time our country was locked down, meaning only essential business can move around. And let me say water was not really a priority to some of the people. By then, we're like, no, we just drink tap water. So by then, we're like, okay, cool. Let me just offer something. Let me develop websites for businesses. Let me just give them that because people are looking for I'm looking for the right way, convenient. So I was bringing convenience to people to their business so that they can rest and their business can run online while they are facing this pandemic. So that's how I survived. And then I learned that it's very important to have a side hustle. And it's very important even if you are self-employed entrepreneur, it's good to have a job. As we're speaking now, I'm also a hotel manager at Masana Boutique Hotel. I'm broadcasting live from there, from the hotel as we're speaking. So it's a sign that we need to have multiple streams of income. So you don't need to depend on one thing.
Okay, okay. Talking about multiple streams of income. Again, there's some people who start up businesses and they think, okay, this is the thing, I have to focus on this, give it all my attention. Because if I give it all my attention, I have I have the possibility to grow. If I have to hustle along the line and put my energy on too many things, I may be distracted and not succeed in any one of them. What is your take on that?
Okay, the question is again before on that is it what you're doing? Is it giving you enough money? Do you need capital? Do you need more capital to invest on it? So if the business that you are pushing it gives you enough capital, it's good, it's growing, doesn't need money or cash injection. Yes, you can go ahead with it, but it's risky. Each and every business, like let me say my water business, it's a seasonal business. So I know when it comes to winter, I need to be ready for winter. So I need to be ready to do something else in the winter. So when you're in a space where you have let me say you've got a business somewhere or maybe you're employed somewhere, while you're being employed and other business is suffering, you can able to use your salary or some of your money to inject into the business or to inject into the idea, because definitely I think your idea is bigger than what it is the way you from where you are at that moment. So I will say, I will advise them to always have a side hustle or multiple streams of income. If it means setting something that will generate money on your behalf while you're sitting at the back, that's it. We go for it. But if that thing it needs you to be there 24/7, but it's not paying your bills, you will starve. That's the idea. That's the advice I can have for you. You will starve, and it won't be good for your business. And let me say, and for your health. And you suffer from mental health because if the money is not coming in, you start being, have stress and you suffer from mental health. And when you have mental health, meaning depression is the next one. And after depression, might be suicidal. So it's very important to make sure that you are stable. Thank you. I don't know if I've talked too much, man.
Mhm. No, no, you know that's it's interesting what you say. Definitely, I'm still looking at the the younger generation, that is graduating now. Some people think that you have to wait to get a huge capital, or you have to get a loan, or you have to get mentors? I mean, there are so many ways to get into your business. What will you think is the biggest thing that you need to wait for? To wait for capital, wait for a loan, wait for an investor, have a mentor, do many side hustles. What will you think is it's your two best ways to go?
Okay, I will say the two best thing is having a mentor and yourself. Reason being, I'm saying yourself because you need yourself more than anything. Because whatever your mentor gonna say to you, it's not final. They're just giving you the way, so you need to work around that. And again, yourself. If you have yourself, it can be easier to raise capital. So, and you need to be very strategic on how you raise the capital.
Okay, thank you. So you're tuned in to Follow Me to Africa Conversations, brought to you by CliffNot TV in the diaspora. We are in South Africa right now, listening to an inspiring young entrepreneur, Mr. Jubilation Magagule. Mr. Jubilation Magagule, who is doing quite well in his business, and he has quite a lot of tips for the younger generation. So, one more question before we take a short break. So what has been your breakthrough so far? You know, your all your side hustles and your job and your business. What has been your biggest breakthrough during the pandemic or now as we're coming out of the pandemic?
My biggest breakthrough, let me start with the water business. I've signed couples of contracts with leading retailers in South Africa, but even though we are, because of our capacity, our financial capacity at Dora, we are limited to supply only few of them, and also have signed a very huge contract with this other company from Bulugwane, where they are selling our water into over 600 outlets every week. So that's one of the biggest milestone. And then also on the web and other companies who Creatives Hub, we have campaigned for one of our clients, Abed Nikumabaso, who has been until he was crowned as Mr. Mpumalanga and Mr. Tourism World South Africa. And in late this year, we are heading to Asia to compete for the title. Actually, we're going there to collect the title and bring it back to South Africa for Mr. Tourism World. So that's one of the biggest achievements that we have had so far. And then also, Exclusive is one of the most trusted digital company in Mpumalanga, and we've built relationship with most of the high-profile companies.
I think I'll ask you another question. Let's take another one. You work with youth. What are the kind of youth programs that you do? I say this again because a lot of young people are out there waiting for inspiration. They're out there waiting for someone to show them what to do. So you deal a lot with young people, right? What is it that you do with young people in the scope of your business? Are you mentoring other young people? And if yes, what is the result so far?
Okay. This is so interesting. There's one of my let me say a mentee. I can't say his name. He just started as a hotel manager yesterday, and I'm his mentor, mentoring him. I've been working with him for the past 3 years, and now he's doing very well. And again, the other thing that I do, I run talent shows for the youth because I'm more into entertainment. I love entertainment. It's within me. So I always try by all means that I take out the youth. Let me say the youth from disadvantaged background and give them a platform to showcase. So some of them they even got record deals from my talent shows, and I've also assisted some of the some of the artists to build their socials. I've also we are currently working on a color run, which will be, let me say, will be advocating for a boy child. So this is one of the programs that it's being facilitated by Abednico and APM Foundation. So as Exclusive Creatives Hub, we are coming into us because we are working with Abednico Mabas. So like we are advocating for a boy child. So it's saying that a boy child also needs protection. So we are going out there to buy toiletries and we give back to the community for the boy child, because we have seen most organizations, they are focusing on what we call a girl child, which is a good thing. So we thought like we saw the gap that a boy child has been neglected. So like no, we need to step in and give back to them. So we have adopted quite a number of few young boys that we work with, and then we try, but we're trying our level best that they stay at school, they study as much as they can, and in a month we'll be taking some of the kids to Kruger National Park so that they can explore and see the nature. Because on that one we'll be working with Bushback Range Hiking Club, so it's quite fascinating. So like the opportunities are which are out there like are very huge.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That's incredible. Kudos to your achievement. And you're tuning to Follow Me to Africa Conversations. We bring these conversations twice a week, hosted by Clipnot TV in the diaspora. And right now we'll go to a quick break before we come back. So you make sure that you grab your water. Don't go away. We still have more in store for you.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are a constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind the scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard Blogs and Events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
Welcome back to Follow Me to Africa Conversation, hosted by ClipNotTV.com. I am hosted by Clipnot TV in the diaspora. My name is Anketa Beatrice Achaleke, and you're tuned into Follow Me to Africa Conversations, this time from South Africa. My guest is from South Africa. I'm confused this morning. I don't know what it is, but you just take it that way. Sometimes you just have days when you mix up things. I don't know what it happens to you, but it's happening to me right now. So maybe because I'm having a very interesting conversation. And before we went on break, we were talking about the business of Jubilation and how he gives back to the community. Let me ask you a quick question. What do you think you young people, how do you think you young people do business different from my generation? Is there any difference there? I mean, you are the digital generation. Would you say you do business the same way as we, people of my generation, do?
I will say we, the new generation, we are innovative. So so we are developing our own systems. I will say personally, I've developed my own systems that works best for me, which also works best for my business. So I will say the old generation, they were using a book, they were following a book. This is how we do business, and these are the policies that we have in the company, or that we are buying for blah 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 blah. So what we do, we create our own rules, we create our own systems and systems that will work best for us. I might have someone who's selling water. Um, Let me say me and my competitor, we're running our business differently. So that's where everything starts. And what happens is that on our side, we've built a water business, which is the brand. We're not selling water only, so we're selling a brand. So our competitors like are selling water. So you see, we are running our things differently, and our competitors are older people. So we are innovating. We are always out there. We know what people want. We know how people think. We know how to get people talking, and we know how to get people buy our product. So we let me say we are changing everything. We are changing the game. So let me say the new generation is for the future. So I think maybe the next generation after us, they will be more innovative than us.
I think from generation to generation, things evolve, right? People evolve, ideas evolve, technology
Yes.
evolves, business evolve, and the way we go to the market evolves as well. In my time, there were no sales, when I was your age, something, yeah, phones just came into the market. The big smartphones. They used to be the big Nokia, and I mean, there were no smartphones. There were mobile phones, and now you have all the devices, you have the applications, and all of that, and that is definitely changing the game. So let me take you right back to the time when you were not born. Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba, he was the first Prime Minister of then is Zaire, now DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo. He said something that always sticks into my mind. He said, "The day shall come when Africa will write its own story, and not to south, it will be a story of glory." And so I want to ask you, what is your African story of glory? If you were to tell us what what are you contributing to that story of glory in Africa, what would that be? I don't know if your screen looks different. It's like your image has changed on the screen. I'm seeing just that's right now. So what will you contribute? What will be your contribution to that story of Africa, that story of glory of Africa?
Okay. It's a quite tricky question. Let me say, going back, I will say, let me say the reason I started the water business. So it can also relate to this. I looked at our community. I looked at our community. Let me say the black community. The water that we are consuming is a very dirty water that we're getting from our municipalities. So it's a very dirty water. So I was like, Jubilation, how best? Because there's a problem. There's a water problem. There's a issue of clean water. How best can we contribute to the society? How best can we solve the problem? As, and my other me be like, Jubilation, this is what you need to do. You need to produce water, clean water for them. And I was like, giving them clean water, I will have to spend money. Okay, you can just sell them the water. So those who want the clean water will buy them. So, but from there, I started to run it in that way. So even now, I even opened for families to come with their let me say, bottles, big bottles, and so on to come and refill at the shop at a very less rate because the aim is to solve the problem of clean water. Because when you drink dirty water, you can get affected. Like your body get exposed to different types of germs, and you stand high chances of being affected with what we call it because dirty water causes cancer, and so that's what we are fighting for. Because let me say the system that I'm using, it's quite a bit tricky because they use chlorine, and chlorine is not good for our health. So that's when we're like, okay, let's come with a system that will help and clean the water, and so that we can give the public healthy water to drink.
Mhm. Beautiful. Life is water, and we know that our bodies is made of more than half of our body masses is made up of water. And I'm glad that you're contributing to the story of glory through water and health. Now, let's go to Africa. There's a lot of misconceptions about Africa. people will believe any bad thing about Africa than any good thing. What do you think is the greatest misconception of Africa amongst you, the youths? What is it that you don't get it about Africa, or the thing that you get wrong about Africa?
Um, let me say, most people from abroad, they think Africa is a country. Some of them, some they think Africa is a, there's a language called Africa. I had an old friend saying like to me like, Jubilation, please teach me a language. Africa was like, no, that's a continent. And some people they think that we live with animals, and some they think that there's only black skinned people in Africa, and that those think that we don't have any technology, and some people think that our government is corrupt. Let me say, they say the African government is corrupt. So this is what they see by when they are far from us, from abroad. So the moment they come here, they start to say, "Oh, okay, so these people they live better life than us." So I would say that those are the misconceptions that I know of. So which it's totally the opposite way.
Thank you. So let me take you to my next question, and I'll go back to your background again. How would you say where you came from, the education you had, the childhood that you had, contributed to your choice of the business that you got yourself into right now?
Okay, I think I'm one person who made a very huge mistake when it comes to career choices. I remember after I completed my matric, and I completed my matric at the age of 16 back in 2011. So I was the youngest actually from my school. Uh, One of my brother-in-law be like, Jubilation, you know what? Go and start and be an engineer for an engineering. I'll I'll give you a work to do after. I'll give you a job. I went there. It was not my choice. I went there. I studied engineering. I went to a college. I did from N3 to N6, and before N6, my brother-in-law and my sister they divorced. So I lost the job while I was studying. So then after, I found myself like Jubilation. Actually, this is the wrong route that you took. Because I've been an entrepreneur from an early age. From the age of 8, I've been selling snacks, sweets, ice at school, and I've been like that. I've been a loan check from school, but not now. So I've been loaning people money at school with interest. So like I had the business in me. So, but I didn't see that. So that's why I'm saying like I will also advise the system that is there in the, let me say, in our government, that they make sure that when they help the kids, the learners to choose their career choices, they should understand who they are. They shouldn't say Jubilation because you're smart, go and do mathematics. I should have done commerce and business studies and so on. But I went to the science stream. I did science. I can label a locust, but in my business, I don't need locust. So I'm just saying, like the career choices, is a big challenge actually in the Black community and also in the deep rurals, because that's where I come from. So I think our leaders should start in making sure that they need to understand the type of people, the type of the learners that they're dealing with. I was having a conversation over the weekend with the leader of the Bushbuck Hiking Club. He said something that there are kids that he was working with, and these kids they took, actually they said like these ones are, they're less performing at school, but these ones are not important, they are useless. And then he took them and he took the whole class to Kruger National Park. When they got there, he noticed that those less performing students, they can be a good guide, tourism guide. those ones they knew all most of the plants, most of the habits of the animals and so on. So they saw like they need to treat everyone equally. So that's what I've learned also. And I think I want to emphasize on this one. Our government should make sure that the system that they implement for our learners, for our kids, it should accommodate them, not for them to increase the pass rate, because it's useless to have the highest pass rate and we have got less employment. So we need to work on that one.
That's. I hope that the leaders are listening. But I'll still take you one step deeper. When you were growing up, your mom certainly had dreams for you. In your environment, people certainly thought like you should grow up to be this person. What did you dream back then to be? I mean, avoiding the guides that you got along the way that ended with a divorce and you losing the job. But when you were a kid, Jubilation growing up, 3, 4, 5, what did he dream of becoming when he grew up before he was kind of guided
Uh,
otherwise by
I,
the
I
system and the.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for the question. I always wanted to be, I remember growing up, I wanted to be a pilot. That was like, I just wanted to fly a plane. I just wanted to fly a plane. And it's still my dream to fly a plane. And I am going to fly it. I don't know with a license or not, but I am going to fly it. That has been my biggest dream. And I think I'm still going to pursue it.
Okay. So going back to your business now, what will you be have been what will you say have been the two biggest challenges that you faced in your business, and how have you overcome them, or how are you overcoming them?
The biggest challenge, the first one is running capital. It's a bit tricky because I tend to receive a lot of orders from clients, but when I look at the capacity, the financial muscles, they don't allow me to meet their target on time. So meaning I have to make certain arrangements. And the other challenge that I'm facing is that late payments from some of the clients, so which it affects the cash flow of the business.
So how are you overcoming that challenge?
Okay, what I've done already, because I know that there are certain clients that I know they delay with payments because of some certain reasons. So what I do is that the the online business, Exclusive Creatives App, is becoming an investor to the water business. So what we do is that when we get money, because we get clients every day, whenever we make money, we take the money and we loan the water business. So the water business will go and buy enough stock and service the client. Once they start selling, they also kick back the money back to Exclusive. So that's how we are because we also don't want to lose the relationship that we're having with our client. Like, no, because of the pressure. No, you said you're gonna pay on Friday. You have to pay now. So we need to be very accommodative because we need to stand out from our other competitors. So if they delay with 3 days, we just say, just find ways in a polite way and maintain the relationships. And then we try to get money from the other business and we inject, we bring it back. And if there's a need, we borrow again and then we do it in that way. So that's what we are doing at the moment. And we're trying to also we've submitted applications because the bigger vision of the business is that we want to be actually by 2035 we should be supplying the water in the whole continent of Africa. So the aim now the aim now is to have a bigger plant that will supply the whole of Africa, of South Africa, and then in each and every country, those countries that they do have a good taste of water, we're gonna go there and build a plant there so that we start doing production and start supplying in the whole country. So that's what we are aiming to do. That's our long term goal. So we are hoping to get investors or funders that are willing to inject money to the business so it can grow as fast as it can. Because even now we can, let me say, it's the demand, it's against the capacity. The demand is higher, the capacity is a bit lower.
Okay. I see you have a big dream. The continent is all yours. Go for it. And those of you who are listening out there, if you're young people, you hear this young man is thinking really big. He's thinking about 25 African countries after just being in the market for 3 years. So, you know, you got to start somewhere. And Mandela said, a dreamer is someone, it's a winner is someone who never stopped dreaming. So the success starts from dreaming. And I hope that, you know, Jubilation will encourage you to dream and let your dream frighten you, because then only then do you know that it is good and big enough. So you'll tune in to Follow Me to Africa Conversations, brought to you by ClipNot TV in the diaspora. And right now, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today.
Welcome back to Follow Me to Africa Conversations, brought to you by ClipNot TV in the diaspora. My name is Ankrita Beatrice Achaleke. I am your delighted host. Today, we're talking to my guest from South Africa, Mr. Jubilation Magagule, an enterprising young man, a businessman, a hustler, as he calls himself, with a big dream, and who is doing quite well in his industry with a lot of tips for young people. Jubilation, you've shared quite a lot of your journey. Um, if there's some Africans out there in the diaspora, some Africans out there in the diaspora who are wondering, like, going back to the continent but not sure about what to do, where to start, and they fear that they may not succeed, what is the advice that you give to them?
Okay, it's a very tricky question. I will say to them, as much as they are comfortable where they are, remember, there is no place like home. They should come back. There's a lot of opportunities. Because I'm just hoping that they are not brainwashed, saying that now Africa is a jungle to them. So they should come back and say that Africa is not a jungle. There's a lot of opportunities. They can start anything. They just need to find a problem first. Should come back and find a problem and come with a solution, because we are always looking for solutions. So we want convenience here in Africa. So they should come before it's too late, because they will, when they get here late, you don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, thank you. Talking about Africans in the diaspora, we have a homecoming, African Homecoming Day coming up next Saturday, 5th of November. If you have not registered, there is no registration. This is your Christmas gift from me. This event is going to be streamed live, so you can watch the whole program from on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn from 11 o'clock GMT time right up to 6 p.m. We have incredible speakers streamlined for you who will share experiences, their testimonies about their businesses, about their homecoming journey, how the challenges they face and how they're overcoming those challenges. But we will also be focusing on the destination country called Sao Tome and Principe. So if you want to explore opportunities in those countries, make sure that you join the conversation on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. It's called the African Homecomers Day. So back to you, Jubilation. Your advice to young Africans, your age, people your age, people coming after you, what will you say they should do? Now, let me put it this way. There are a lot of, when I look around African countries, there are a lot of people who are coming to do business in Africa, who are coming to earn money in Africa, who are coming to pursue their dreams in Africa. Look at the Chinese, for example. look at some Europeans are here, they've never left, they never want to leave. So what advice will you give to young people of your generation who think that greener pastures are somewhere else in Europe? And especially seeing that many of them are dying along the way on high sea, we're crossing over to Europe. What advice will you give to them based on the fact that we have a lot of people who are migrating into Africa in pursuit of greener pastures?
I will say they should wake up from their sleep, because I definitely think that they might be sleeping. Because if they can't see what's happening, because everything it's evolving every now and then, and if they can't see that, it becomes a problem. Because I'm just gonna give you an example. When you look at our rand, our currency in South Africa, it's losing value now and again. I remember when I was doing grade 8, that was back in 2007. Our rand, it was against US dollar, it was one US dollar was equal to 7 rand. But now one US dollar is equal to 18 rand and 27 cents. So meaning that we are losing value because all the money is leaving the country. Leaving the country is going outside, and we need to be the ones standing up and work for work for our country and work for the continent. So I will say to all the youth out there, change your mindset, change your friends if it means be. I had friends who talk about alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. We talk about alcohol every now and then. I distanced myself. I became my own friend. I became friend of reading, friend of my mentors. So they should try to have a minimum of 2 or 3 mentors. So whenever you go there to seek advices, you know you will have different types of ideas from them. And then when you merge them, you come with yours, you solid it, you come up with a concrete solution to whatever problem that you are facing at that moment. So what I will say is that they should step out of their comfort zone and start working. If it means that they're employed where they are, yes, employ, work there while you're building your name. Build your name, make sure that you build your name like in at the very highest level, and be ready to face the world. Let's call it a war. It's a business war. We're not fighting with anyone, but it's a war because we need to stand out. We need to fight for what's ours, and we need to stand the ground for the upcoming generations. So we need to make sure we're not going politically, but we're doing this thing in a business way.
Incredibly powerful. Respect, young man. So you tune in to Follow Me to Africa Conversations. This is more than just another conversation. This is an experience. This is the space where we give you insight, we give you solutions, we give you tips, we give you new perspective, lifestyles, we give you solutions on how, we give you solutions and challenge you to take action. We challenge you to take action. And it's not me doing that, it's my guest doing that, because we handpick our guests to bring these conversations to you. We are all coming out of an unprecedented pandemic, and a pandemic that changed a whole lot in our lives. So we are here to challenge you to dare to change your life, to dare to do something different as we come out of the pandemic. And this is the essence of this Follow Me to Africa Conversations hosted by CliffNote TV in the diaspora. That said, I would like us to take another quick break before we come back to the last part of the conversation. So again, stick in because there's so much in here for you. And when we come back from the break, and my guest and I am the host, my guest and I will continue the conversation. And you don't want to miss that last part.
Start your own internet radio station for as low as €6.99 per month. We provide affordable radio streaming and hosting plans for everyone. And there are 2 main things that make us the best. We are here to make high-performance radio hosting online affordable and to outshine all the others when it comes to hosting plans and broadcasting services. High quality. Stream at any bitrate with our wide range of Icecast and Shoutcast hosting plans. Auto DJ. Easily start broadcasting with our complete automation platform. No software is required. Unlimited. All plans include unlimited listeners and bandwidth, allowing you to broadcast worry-free. Broadcast worry-free with unlimited internet radio hosting. We provide premium streaming services with unbeatable pricing and quality support. Create your own online radio station today. it.clevenard.com.
Welcome back to Follow Me to Africa Conversations, brought to you by Cliff Not TV in the diaspora. My name is Sankrita Beatrice Achaleke. I am your delighted host. And my guest is Mr. Jubilation Magagule, a young entrepreneur joining us all the way from South Africa. So if you've just tuned in, I will encourage you to check on my profile on cliffnot.com to see all the kind of freebies that we offer you. There's a lot of information out there. And also these conversations, make sure that you share them with your friends, because they don't cost you. I think they may just be a mouse click, but you can transform someone's life by just sharing. So we encourage you to share all our videos on CliffNot TV diaspora on the website cliffnot.com. So Jubilation, will you be principally interested in mentoring? I know you do a lot of mentorship already. Will you principally be interested in mentoring someone from the diaspora who's looking into coming back and starting their business in South Africa and need someone to guide them through the process?
Oh, yes. Let me say a big yes. Yes. That will be an honor. And it will be quite interesting. I believe that it's going to be a quite interesting journey for me and him or her. I would say I will take them through the stages that where I know of. And plus, the benefit of it is that I won't be only mentoring them, so I'll be offering some of the services that I offer at no cost for them. So, which will be part of growing or indirectly investing into their business for their growth.
Excellent. So that said, we are taking you right to the fun-filled last part of this conversation. Before we get there, is there anything that you wanted to, is there something else on your mind that you'd like to say before we go to the very fast last part of the conversation? There's something else on your mind that you'd like to, okay.
Oh, okay. I think I've missed to say something on the intro. I will say I hold 2 titles, let me say 2 accolades under my name for myself. One of the 100 South African Shining Stars were honored in 2020 by Inside Education. And then last year I was honored as one of the youngest entrepreneur in 6 countries of Africa. So it's by the Ubuntu Academy. So that shows how far I've become. And I've done a lot of campaigns for brands, successful brands. I've worked with artists like Chembanya, is one of the biggest artists in our country, in let me say in our culture, the Tsonga culture. I'm a Tsonga by the way, and I worked with the likes of General Muska. I've worked with quite a lot of artists like DSK, just to name a few. We've built a platform, a very huge platform, music platform, which is doing well for the culture. So what I'm saying is that we are open to work with anyone, and we are ready to help the continent. And my aim now is to expand into Africa, especially on the digital side. Let me say, want to help African businesses. Like my mentor, my digital mentor is from Cameroon, Vincent Archer. He's one of the person who's been there for me since I started back in 2016, and he's been guiding me. So I'd like to say thank you to him, and I'd like to say thank you to Abednego Mabaso for trusting me with your brand, and thank you to my biological mom, like Magagule, for growing and for raising me. And I'd like to say thank you to ABM Foundation, Pushback Hiking Club, Unity is Power, and also to my staff and to the heroes which are working there at my factory, Dora Shop. So I would like to say thank you to everyone and to the community of South Africa for supporting my business, for supporting my vision. And I would like to say thank you to my boss. I'm an employee to the hotel. Thank you to my boss, Veronica Sbuyana, for trusting me with your brand without, because I didn't have any experience of running in a hotel. So now it's been about quite interesting journey. It's been 10 months now working in a hotel, which it shows something. So I think if I was not doing the good work, I should be fired by now. So thank you very much for trusting me. And thanks to everyone who have contributed to my journey. And special thanks to my mother in business who took me from this dusty streets of Sharpeville and to her comfort zone, to her space. The first time I lived in the suburbs, that's when I lived in a house. She trusted me with her house. She left me with the house. She went to Europe. I stayed there for 10 days without her. Like, but loyalty is very important. What I say, guys, learn to be loyal to whoever, even if it's a stranger. I had a space. If I was a thief, I should have stolen everything in the house because she didn't know me. She couldn't even trace me. But because of loyalty, loyalty is everything. You need to be very appreciative of whatever they do to you, so and receive it well, and also give it back the same energy. I don't know. I can talk too much.
Yes, you've talked too much right now. So, but thank you for those kind words to all the people who have mentored you along the way. Now, complete the following sentences for me. There is no explanation, just complete them for me. This is the part where we wrap it all in a nutshell. So, the one thing that many people do not know about me is that.
Pardon?
The one thing that many people do not know about me is that.
The one thing that many people don't know about me is that I'm an intellect.
Okay. Um, the one thing that I always have in my refrigerator is.
I always have a bottle of Thora water.
In 2030, I see Africa as.
In 2030, I see Africa and us being at the next level, seeing the community of, let me say, our culture evolving.
The next African country that I want to visit is.
South America.
Thank you, welcome. My favorite African meal is.
Pardon?
My favorite African meal is.
It's
Favorite African food.
it's my favorite African food. It's this meal from Cameroon. It's called is it kumkum and
Arrow.
yeah, it's kumkum
Arrow.
and arrow. Yes.
The craziest thing that I ever did is.
The craziest thing that I ever did was what is it? I don't know, mom. I'm blank.
Okay, so you've never been
Because
crazy.
I've been. What have I done?
If today was my
Mom?
last day, if today was my last day, I would.
Okay. If today was my last day, I would I would go out with my mom and spend the whole day with her because she's one person who's been very supportive and very close to my heart. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that on my last day she's so excited, she's so happy.
Thank you very much. So, thank you so much for this conversation. It's been quite an interesting one. And I thank you for giving me your time in the midst of all the things that we need to do today. I appreciate the juicy contents that you've shared. And it was nice having you on the program. Again, you're tuned in to Follow Me to Africa Conversations brought to you by CliffNote TV in the diaspora. We air twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. So I'm looking forward to my next guest on Friday, who is going to be again from South Africa, and this time from a completely new perspective, another generation, another gender, and another perspective. So you don't want to miss out on that conversation. But before then, I invite you to check my profile and make sure that you join the Africa Homecomers Day on Saturday. It's all free. You don't have to register. Join us online and enjoy juicy content, and make sure that you stay tuned into Clipnot TV Diaspora, because this is the space where you get the contents that you will not find anywhere. My name is Ankrita Beatrice Achalike. I'm always excited to be your host. Have a wonderful week.